I'm Dr. Ryan DeBell from The Movement Fix. This is Movement Fix Monday, and what I want to talk to you guys about today is a gentle nerve floss in the lower extremity or the leg. I've talked about this a little bit before in my tight hamstrings video, but I want to get more in depth about how to do the nerve flossing part of that. So a lot of people have tightness in their hamstrings. They have limitation bending forward and they think it's their hamstrings, but it's actually tension in the nerve or your brain not being comfortable having tension in the nerve. And so we can use this technique that I'm going to show you to prove to the brain that tension in the nerve isn't threatening, or to just get the nerve gliding a little bit more easily. Whichever one it is, we can't really prove it, so I don't really care which one it is. I care that it helps somebody. So what I can do is I'm actually going to take my shoe and my sock off for this technique, and I'm going to lay on my back. And if you can imagine that the nerves that go into my legs come out of my spinal cord, or at the base of my skull, or the spinal cord comes out of the base of my skull right here, goes down and it turns into nerves that go down my leg. And then when it gets around here, there's some splitting that happens, and one nerve kind of goes down this way, the other nerve goes down this way, and I want to tension and relax both of those nerves so I get used to the tension feeling so I can have improved range of motion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my leg up here, but I'm going to take my foot into two specific positions. Position number one is going to be the foot turned this way and then my toes curled. That puts maximum amount of tension on the nerve that kind of goes in the front of the ankle. And then from that, I'm going to go directly into the position number two, which is the foot pulled back and then turned out. So the way this floss would work is I will gently go from this position with the toes curled to this position with the toes pulled back. I'm going to meet gentle pressure both sides. I'm not going to go really aggressively into this. It usually doesn't turn out well if you go aggressively into this nerve tension. But I'm just going to go back and forth, nice and easy, side to side, from this position to this position. And I may do 10, 15 reps of this. I wouldn't do a ton the first time that you do this. Now, by the way, the leg height here is determined by your own kind of general flexibility at the time of doing this. If you have to be here and put a strap around your leg to hold it, that's perfectly fine. If you can be here and do it and hold it with your own hands, that's fine too. If you can do it with no hands, even better. But I would go 10 to 15 reps. This is something I do almost every night, just back and forth to keep a little bit of range of motion, because that translates into a lot of things like pulling off the floor, kettlebell swings, hamstring flexibility. All of those wonderful things may be limited by a lack of motion in the nerve, or, as I said before, not tolerating tension in the nerve. So that's something that I would do very gently. I wouldn't go do that right before deadlifting heavy. I would do that maybe at the end of the day or before some very light, say, single-legged deadlifts. That's kind of how I'd program this. I also wouldn't give this to somebody who has major pain going down the leg. I wouldn't probably use that in this case. It's more as a way to improve somebody's range of motion if they have a limitation there and they aren't successful with other things. So that is a very gentle nerve floss for the lower extremity or the leg. So give that a shot if you have a limitation with that, or I use it for a lot of patients to get them back to being able to get range of motion that they may need, again, in certain circumstances. So that's what I got for you guys for this week on Movement Fix Monday. If you don't already follow the Facebook or the Movement Fix on Instagram, make sure to go check us out at The Movement Fix, and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Movement Fix, and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Movement Fix. I'll see you guys next week.